What if your entire life could change just by changing a few habits? Why do some people consistently succeed while others stay stuck? In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey shares a powerful idea: success is not about quick wins, it's about who you become. In this video, you'll learn the 7 habits that can transform your mindset, your actions, and your results. The book emphasizes the importance of focusing on character ethics and fundamental principles rather than superficial techniques for personal success. The author explains the power of paradigms, the mental maps that shape how we perceive the world, and states that lasting change requires updating these internal frameworks. It describes a growth process that moves from dependence to independence and then to interdependence, illustrated through practical life examples and the goose and golden eggs metaphor. The main goal is to offer a principle-centered philosophy of life that increases effectiveness in both personal and social contexts. These sections highlight how true maturity is built from the inside out, shaping character as the foundation of lasting success. Habit 1. Be proactive. Highly effective people don't blame circumstances. They take responsibility. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. Stop saying, "I have no time," or "it's not my fault." Start asking, "What can I do about it?" Your life changes the moment you take ownership. The book states that proactive people take responsibility for their own lives, and their behavior is a result of their decisions rather than their circumstances. In contrast, reactive people are influenced by their physical and social environment, while proactive individuals carry their own weather with them, meaning they act based on their values rather than external conditions. A fundamental principle of human nature is that between stimulus and response, we have the freedom to choose. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond by exercising this freedom of choice. What harms us is not what happens, but how we choose to react to it. Expressions like "I don't have time" or "it's not my fault" reflect reactive language and shift responsibility to external forces. This type of thinking creates a victim mentality, making people feel as though they have no control over their situation. Ultimately, life is not a product of circumstances, but a product of decisions. Taking responsibility is the foundation of effectiveness and of all other habits discussed in the book. We are largely responsible for both our happiness and the conditions we experience. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. Effective people have a clear vision of their future. They define their goals before they act. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Then start living like that person today. Begin with the end in mind means starting life with a clear understanding of where you want to go. If you don't know your destination, even if you are busy and productive every day, you may still be moving quickly in the wrong direction, like climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall. According to the book, everything is created twice, first as a mental creation, first creation, and then as a physical creation, second creation. Effective people act as the designers of their lives, forming a clear vision in their minds before bringing it into reality. The mental creation always comes before the physical one. The question, "What kind of person do I want to become?" is the foundation of creating a personal mission statement. This statement acts like a personal constitution, focusing on both character, who you want to be, and contribution, what you want to do. Starting to live as that person today means aligning your actions with your core values and even with your imagined end-of-life perspective, such as what you would want people to say at your funeral. When this vision becomes clear, daily behavior is shaped by this larger purpose, and a person begins to proactively write the script of their own life. Habit 3. Put first things first. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Highly effective people focus on what truly matters, not what's urgent. They prioritize growth, health, long-term goals. Discipline is choosing what matters most over what feels easy. The book states that the foundation of effective management is putting first things first. Simply being busy is not enough. If the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, you may only be climbing quickly toward the wrong destination. True productivity lies in balancing production results with production capability, the ability to keep producing results over time. Effective people manage their time through the lens of importance rather than urgency. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention and often push us into a reactive mode, while important but non-urgent tasks, quadrant 2, require greater proactivity and discipline. This quadrant 2 includes activities such as prevention, relationship building, planning, and personal renewal, health, and exercise. Instead of constantly dealing with crises, quadrant I, effective individuals focus on this area to prevent problems at their root and nurture long-term opportunities. The word discipline, in its original sense, means being a follower of a principle or value system. For effective self-management, a person must have the freedom and integrity to subordinate short-term emotions and convenience to a deeper yes, their mission and core values. Habit 4. Think win-win. Life is not a competition. You don't have to win by making others lose. Highly effective people look for solutions where everyone benefits. When you help others succeed, you create more opportunities for yourself. Win-win is a mindset that sees life not as a competitive arena but as a field of cooperation. While many people evaluate everything through a win or lose lens, this approach is fundamentally flawed. The book rejects the win-lose paradigm, which assumes that one person's gain must come at another's expense. In interdependent relationships, if one side loses, both sides ultimately lose in the long run. Effective people seek solutions where all parties are satisfied and committed to the decision. This is not simply your way or my way, but a better third alternative that is superior to what either side initially proposed. At the core of helping others and creating opportunities is an abundance mindset, the belief that there is enough success, wealth, and opportunity for everyone. This mindset does not see others' success as a loss. Instead, it recognizes that sharing prestige, profit, and possibilities actually creates more options, creativity, and value for everyone. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen to reply, not to understand. But effective people listen deeply. They try to truly see the other person's perspective. When people feel understood, they trust you more. And trust changes everything. The book states that most people are trapped in their own autobiography when communicating. They listen to others through their own filters and are often just preparing their response instead of truly understanding the other person. Effective people practice empathic listening, which means trying to understand another person's worldview, their paradigm, and their emotions. It is not just hearing words, but perceiving the inner reality of the other person with both eyes and heart. When you listen with empathy, you give the other person a form of psychological air. Just as air is essential for physical survival, being understood and validated is a fundamental psychological need. When this need is met, people become less defensive and more open. Empathic listening is one of the greatest deposits into the book's concept of an emotional bank account. When a person feels truly understood, their level of trust increases. In low-trust environments, communication becomes defensive and legalistic. But as trust grows, communication becomes synergistic. At this stage, instead of your way or my way, both parties can create a third alternative that is far superior to what either side originally proposed. Habit 6. Synergize. Great things don't happen alone. They happen when people work together. Different perspectives create better solutions. The best ideas come from collaboration, not isolation. According to the book, synergy is the highest level of effectiveness in all of life and the true test and expression of all other habits. In an interdependent reality, synergy enables people to achieve together what they could never accomplish alone. The essence of synergy is valuing differences in mindset, emotion, and perspective between people. An effective person has the humility to recognize their own perceptual limitations and to see others' viewpoints as valuable resources that lead to a more complete understanding of reality. The idea that the best solutions emerge from cooperation is explained through the concept of the third alternative. This is neither your way nor my way, but a more creative and superior solution that is better than what either party originally proposed. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. You can't perform at your best if you're burned out. Highly effective people invest in themselves. They improve their body, their mind, their skills. Growth is not optional. It's necessary. The book illustrates this habit with the story of a tired woodcutter who spends 5 hours trying to cut down a tree but says he doesn't have time to sharpen his axe. When the axe is not sharpened, performance declines and effort becomes inefficient. Sharpening the saw means preserving and improving your greatest asset, yourself. It is considered one of the most important investments a person can make in life. The book defines personal renewal in 4 dimensions: physical, nutrition, exercise, mental, reading, writing, planning, spiritual, values, meditation, social, emotional, service, empathy, synergy. Development is described as an upward spiral, continuous learning, committing to promises, and applying principles consistently leads to upward growth. This process strengthens character by training conscience and fostering ongoing self-improvement. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. These 7 habits are not quick fixes. They are a way of life. Start with one habit. Master it, then move to the next. Because small changes create big results. Watch till the end and ask yourself, which habit do I need the most right now? Follow Mind Journey for more life-changing ideas.